Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Premier Destiny's live Q&A session. Paul and I are very excited to have you all join us again today. And it's a pleasure to be able to answer questions that are sent to us, sometimes by email, sometimes during our workshops or master classes. And we have one coming up soon. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, we're glad to see you all join us today. We have a very, very interesting question and one that will affect many people, in fact, and impact many people for that matter. So glad to have you here. Again, this is Paul and I with Premier Destiny, and we have our Q&A live sessions on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have a question here today. The person who sent it decided to remain anonymous, but that's all right. Um, the question is, sometimes I find that my goals or my progress is stalled. Am I setting the right goals? Any suggestions? Okay, let me take that again. Sometimes I find that my progress is stalled, and am I setting the right goals? Any suggestions? So we are going to, with the time that we have today, give this a shot. It's a very loaded question, one that really requires us to spend a lot of time deciphering your goals and then giving you suggestions. So what we're going to do today, not knowing what your goals are or the particular goal that you are concerned about, we're going to give you some general and generic suggestions, which will resonate with many other people too. But before we do, Paul is going to come on to talk about some goals. But before Paul comes on, I know, and it can be very discouraging when you feel like, you're giving your best shot, you're doing all you know how to, but you're not making any progress, right? Let me start by saying that it's not uncommon for people to feel stalled, in their progress. It's not uncommon, especially if you have big goals, what we call stretch goals. Paul is going to be touching on that here shortly. So don't feel like, you're the only one or this is the end of the world, okay? Hopefully with the suggestions we'll be sharing with you today, you'll be able to get going again, all right? And be very successful. So I'm going to pass over to Paul to help us understand what goals are. Again, like I said, we don't really know what goals you're working on, but if we have a general understanding of what goals are, I think it will go a long way to help us um, do better and not feel like we're getting stalled and stuck. Okay, so I'll pass over to Paul to start out with telling us what goals are.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you. And welcome, folks. We're so delighted to have you on board with us here today to share this time with you and some ideas with you. We always look forward to this because it's time for us to interact and exchange ideas, because as you folks know, ideas is the important currency of life, right? Ideas are a currency of life. So it's important to always engage and visit with you. Thank you so much for sending the question in. It's like John said, it's a loaded question. It's one that would certainly take a lot of time for us to really break it down, but we'll give it a fair shot here. We'll give it a fair shot. Let me just start by saying that it's important for us to know what is a goal. What is a goal? A goal is a target or an objective that you're seeking to achieve. Something or position that, when achieved, will make a positive impact on you and or society.
Mhm.
Goals tend to benefit the achiever in some form or fashion. All right. So goal is something we're going after. Okay. Our goal is important. Absolutely. Absolute goals are important. Goals set the direction of our life. The set of our sails, if you will. Goals give
Mhm.
energy to or impetus to whatever we're doing. We've often heard people say that if you don't know where you're going, any road will do. And of course, you'll never get to where you want to go, right? We are goal seeking mechanisms, folks. We are. We're designed for accomplishment, for to make things happen. All right. It's been said many times that human beings are happiest when they're going after something that they truly love or desire.
Mhm. Mhm.
It makes us feel alive. because we're going after something. So that's again, that's what goals are and how important they are. I think the key. They're really key. It's hard to really get going in life and make things happen if you don't have any goals. So they're important. They're really important. I want to touch on types of goals because I think that's important. The three types of goals that in my studies and the studies that Joan and I have been engaged in over the years, we've come to understand. There's what are called A type goals, there's B type goals, and there's C type goals. Okay, and I'm gonna try to go over each one of them just so that we all could share some ideas because the big thing here is just that it's for us to learn, right? All of us to learn here. What are A type goals? These are goals that you already know how to achieve them because you've set an achievement before. Okay, those are A type goals. For example, let's say you want to buy a new car to replace the one you have, but you had bought a similar car, say 4 or 5 years ago. So you know how to achieve that. You know, it's a goal, it's something you already know how to do. You've done it before. You're just gonna get a new one. You know what is going to be involved. You know what the financing going to be. You know if you have to put the money together to pay for it cash or whatever. You know what the payments are going to be. If you're going to stretch it out over a period of time, you know what that involves, right? You know how long it's going to take for you to do that. Okay, so that's an A type goal. You know, it's something you've done before. You know what to do. You've done it before, and pretty much it's a repeat. Pretty much. Okay, there's no growth in that. There's really no growth in A type goals, and we ought to really stay away from those type of goals. And I'll talk more about that as we proceed here. There's what we call B type goals. B type goals. These are goals that you think you can achieve. For the most part, you've not done anything like that before. You've not achieved this kind of goal before. But it's something you think you can achieve. This usually involves some planning, some thinking, and some stretching. Okay. For example, let's say you rent an apartment right now, two-bedroom apartment with you and your family living there, and you've been thinking about getting your own place, owning your own property, for example. Okay, and you decide, well, I want a townhouse, maybe a three-bedroom townhouse with a finished basement. And that's where you would like to move from the apartment, two-bedroom apartment that you're renting, to this townhouse. That's a B type goal because this is going to involve some thinking, right? You're going to have to look at your finances, right? You're going to have to decide what kind of house you want, right? You're going to have to engage service of a realtor to get you out and look at stuff. You're going to have to get a mortgage company to help you look at your finances, what you're going to pay, and all of that. Of course, if you can pay for your cash, that's even better, right? But if you're going to have to get financing involved, that's going to involve some stretching on your part. Okay, it's something you've not done before. It's something that you're going to need to, it's going to involve some stretching, thinking, planning, that type of thing. That's a B type goal. Okay, that's a B type goal, and it also involves, engaging the service of others also to make it happen. That is a B type goal. That is a B type goal. Now, C type goals. C type goals. These are goals. This is something that you would love to have in your life or in your business, but you don't know how. But you don't know how. That's a C type goal. A C type goal is something that you would love to have. You would love to make it happen for you. Okay, it's going to require significant changes in yourself, how you look at things, to what you do, and all of that. But you have never done it before. That's a C type goal. C type goals involve stretching, involves growth. Okay, it tends to, one of the important things about it is that with a C type goal, it makes you become a better version of yourself. That's what a C type goal does. It changes you. It makes you grow. All right. An example of a C type goal would be a case where you want to increase. Let's say you run a business. You want to increase your sales by say 25% from last year or 50% from last year. That's going to involve some thinking. That's going to involve some stretching. That's going to involve some growth. Okay, that's a C type goal. It's just something that that really makes you change. All right. The important thing about achieving any goal, folks, is who you become in the process. Not just achieving the goal; it's who you become in the process of achieving the goal. That's the important thing when it comes to going after C type goals. Okay, it's who you become in the process of achieving the goal. That's the important thing because you tend to grow. You tend to grow. You tend to change. You learn new things. Okay. You discover a better version of who you are. That's what goals are all about. Goals are about stretching. Again, I would encourage anyone to really look at if you're going to set goals, let them be goals that stretch you because that's how you grow. That's how you improve. So, John, let me turn over to you to help us out a little bit. Some other thoughts here.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. I learned one or two things there, and I hope our viewers did too. So we've defined goals, right? But the person who sent this question would like some suggestions on what to do. Okay, they feel like they're getting stalled in their progress, and they want some suggestions. But before we start, you start feeling discouraged if you are in that same situation or similar situation. Before you start feeling discouraged, we're going to offer you some suggestions here. Okay. But again, not knowing the sender's specific situation in terms of what their specific goal or goals that they are concerned, that they are stalled, we're going to give some generic or general suggestions, which, like I said earlier, we believe will help anyone who has goals or is thinking of setting goals, okay? And hopefully stretch goals like Paul has talked about. So there is an acronym, and some of you may already know or may not know. It's called SMART, okay? This, I'm going to go into each of the letters, but this is a way of making sure that the goal that you set for yourself or the goals that you set for yourselves are quote unquote going to be successful or attainable or achievable. Okay. Your goal has to fit into this criteria, so to say. So SMART, the S stands for specific. Okay. And what that means is how clearly defined or concise is your goal. Okay. So Paul gave the example of maybe somebody who wants to go from an apartment to a townhouse. Okay. Your goal is to get a townhouse. How clearly defined is that townhouse? Do you know how many bedrooms you're going to get? Do you know if it's going to have a half bath or if it's going to have you have to be very specific in defining that goal. Where would it be located? Okay. What would it look like from the outside? I mean, would it be a carpet floor or wood floor? You have to be very, very specific in defining your goal. I'd like to share this quote with us today, and it's from Robert Heinlein. Let me read it so I don't misquote. It says, in the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until we ultimately become enslaved by it. Folks, this is so powerful. Go check it out. Okay. Take that and let me read it again. It says, in the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until we ultimately become enslaved by it. So our goals have to be specific. Write them down. Okay. Don't be afraid. Take some time and write out your goals. Precisely what is it that you want? So when you get it, you know that you've gotten it. Okay. The next letter is M, measurable. Are your goals measurable? What makes you think your progress is stalled? By this, I mean, how do you measure your progress? How do you measure the success of your goal? You have to know. So, for example, in the case of a townhouse, okay, you bought the townhouse, you're living in the townhouse, the um, physical space, property that you're living in. Okay, it could be you're trying to be more fit, you're trying to lose some weight, and you know it's 10 pounds or 20 pounds. And when you get on the scale, you see the difference, then you know you've made that. So your goal has to be measurable. It cannot be vague. Okay. It also has to be achievable. That's the A for you. It has to be achievable or attainable. Do you have the skills? Are you able to do what it takes to get that goal? Okay. If it's a stretch goal, you may not know how, but you're willing to learn to acquire those skills. For example, somebody may want to say, I like quoting this because I know many people don't like heights. Somebody may say they want to maybe break Michael Jordan's record, right? We all know him as a basketball superstar who won so many um, trophies. But are you able to jump? Can you physically jump that high? Or are you afraid of heights? Or are you willing to go through the rigorous training that he went through with his coach? Are you willing to engage a coach to help you go through that? All right. So the R stands for relevant. How relevant is this goal to your values? When I say values, I'm talking about your purpose, your calling, your destiny. How relevant is this goal to that? All right. Again, we're not going to go into depth on all of this. I want to really get into answering this scholars, this person's question, which is suggestions. And last but not the least, the T stands for time, time bound. What is the time frame for achieving your goal? Okay. Like I said earlier, not knowing exactly what the goal is, we're going to give you some generic suggestions here. You see, it's not just setting the right goals that matters. We can set the right goals as much as we want, but there are other things to take into consideration. Okay. And would like to share them with you here as suggestions. All right. You have to be excited. When I say excited, I mean very excited about your goal. Okay. Is this a goal that you really love? Okay. Is this one that keeps you up awake at night? When you think about this goal, you are so excited because that excitement is going to create that enthusiasm. You're going to create the feeling of like, I have to get this goal no matter what. So, how excited are you about your goal? Go back and revisit that goal. Maybe it's no longer relevant based on your current circumstances. And don't forget to maintain the right mindset. Folks, this is so important. And I'm going to plug this in here because on Saturday, we're going to be having an amazing and wonderful masterclass. You don't want to miss that. You really don't want to miss that, okay? But you want to have the right mindset because a positive and success mindset will help you stay aligned with your goal. They say success is only 5% of strategy, but 95% mindset. Can you imagine? So all what I said about the SMART, the acronym SMART, is strategy. Okay. But how about the mindset part, which is 95%, which is going to determine that is going to determine your success. All right. So as a matter of fact, I'm encouraging everyone watching today to join us on Saturday. Okay. We have the links on our social media pages and we're going to talk about it a little later. But you also have to realize another suggestion for you is there is something called the law of gestation. And what is the law of gestation? It talks about time, a time frame, a period, okay, where that everything has to go through before it is realized or manifested. So don't feel discouraged when you feel like you're stalled. All right. It may just be the law of gestation at work. Okay. There are times when um, progress is being made, but it's not visible. Okay. So you may be relying on your senses to see, okay, um, I don't see the townhouse yet, or I don't see the car yet, or I don't see the promotion yet, but progress is still being made, even though it may not be visible. Okay. Just think of a seed. Like if you plant an orange seed, right? It takes some time for it to start germinating. It doesn't mean progress is not being made. Okay. So let that not discourage you. All right. Another suggestion for you is don't share your goal with just anyone. Okay. If you want to share your goal with somebody who will be excited for you, who will support you, who has the same mindset as you. Okay. Because when you start feeling discouraged, you're feeling like your goal, you're not making any progress, they're going to support you, they're going to encourage you, they're going to motivate you. All right. So seek support from friends or family. And why not a coach? Okay. Or a mentor who can encourage you and give you some guidance when you feel stuck. All right. Okay. So no matter what is going on, try your best not to dwell on your senses and that are feeding you these thoughts of discouragement, of feeling stuck, and so on and so forth. Don't dwell on your senses, because I can't remember the author who said, ignore the evidence of your senses, because these are facts, but they are not truths. Okay, that's a topic for another day. But don't let what you see or don't see discourage you. Okay, so don't dwell on the evidence of your senses. All right. And sometimes it's good to break up or break down your goals into smaller parts. Okay, because what happens is when you accomplish one, it encourages you. You've made some progress, right? And don't be shy to pat yourself on the back. You know, celebrate every step that you realize. Okay, that may also help you not feel stalled. And last but not least, progress is not always linear. It doesn't have to be linear. All right. It doesn't have to be a straight line. Progress can be in fits and starts. Okay. And don't think you're stuck because you're not seeing progress. Okay. Um, it may just take a few tweaks in your strategy. It may just take a few tweaks in how you see things based on changing your mindset. Okay. And maybe support and coaching to get you back on track. All right. So I'm going to have, I think we've said quite a bit. Paul, do you think of any other suggestions we can add here?
I was thinking that no, I think, John, I think you've said it just about all. You said it all. I would just also just suggest to this person who sent us this question that they should just take out time for self reflection. Okay, are you doing everything? Just ask yourself that question from time to time. Am I doing everything that I should be doing to achieve what I'm going after? Because that's a deep question, and I think it's something that we have to ask ourselves that over time. Okay, I mean, think
Mhm,
about it. If you had to pay someone to do what you want them to do to get to this goal, and you were that person, would you pay yourself?
mm,
Okay, because once you look at it from that vantage point, then you know that maybe there's some things you're not doing quite right. Okay, and just spend some time in private, meditation, thinking, reflection, about your goal. Make it alive to you. Make it alive to you. Sleep with it, walk with it, exercise with it. I mean, whatever you got to do. I mean, read
mhm,
some motivational, inspirational material as well that will help you know that it's possible for you. Okay, because like John said, success is 95% mindset. It's
mhm.
how you think. If you think that you can make it happen, it will happen for you. Okay, but if you think that there's challenges all around, guess what? That's exactly what is going to you're going to manifest. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's what I had to add on there. Yes, folks, and
Mhm,
I was just going to say in conclusion, you should always endeavor to go after goals that stretch you, help you grow as a person. Refrain from
mhm,
setting goals that you already know how to achieve them, because there's no growth in it. There's no growth there. Set challenging goals that will cause you to think, plan, do some soul searching, and involves changes. And also, don't be afraid to make set goals that are going to make you uncomfortable. Okay, because that's part of the growth process, folks. Okay, you should seek out mentors or people who have achieved similar goals in the past. Because as they say, success leaves clues, right?
mhm,
Success leaves clues. So don't be, hey, seek out folks who've done it before. If you have to hire a mentor to help you, do that. All right. I mean, because they've been down that path before. They know what it takes. Right. Remember that you have to be willing to change if you want different results in your life. You have to be willing to change. Because if you could do it with where you are now, guess what? It would have been done, right? Yeah, but
That's
you're not
right.
there yet because, yes. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable, like I talked about, to make profound changes in your life. Listen, excuses are out there,
Mhm,
folks. I mean, the good ones too. But but excuses keep us stuck where we are, and we don't want that. Remember,
mhm,
folks, that the universe loves growth and expansion. Okay, the universe loves growth and expansion. That's why when you plant a grain of corn, it doesn't just give you one corn. You get the whole, you know, you get a bunch of corn. You don't just get one. Even if you plant just one, right? You plant one flower, you don't just get one flower. All right, you get a,
Mhm.
you get a lot more. That's the universe, folks. It loves expansion. It loves growth. Universe is on our side, and it's often been said that the universe when you want something badly, if you decide that you're going to make it happen, you're going to go out there and work for it. You don't make it put, you take smart action like don't talk about. All right, the universe conspires to make it happen for you. Okay, doors open
Mhm.
for you because you do the right things. You're out there trying to make things happen, and like Joan talked about, just know that there's a period of time called gestation. Right? Don't give up. Never, 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 ever give up. If something you believe in, you love to do, you want to see it happen, don't give up. Persistence and consistency are key. Okay, just again, folks, any big goal is going to involve some sacrifice, it's going to involve some changes, right? And it's going to involve some time. So
Mhm.
love yourself and just go for what you love because at the end of the day, if you love something, you're doing what you love, it's going to happen for you.
Thank you so much, Paul. As you were talking, I just remembered this, and I'd like to add this as a suggestion. Besides really having a goal and spelling it all out, like I mentioned earlier, you have to be in harmony with that goal. Okay. When Paul was talking about take it with you wherever you go, I remember this. You have to be in harmony with that goal. It has to be so forefront in your mind. You're waking up, you're going to bed, you have to stay connected with that goal. Okay. And there are so many ways to do that. All right. There are ways like visualization, the goal cards and stuff like that, which we can also share with you. But stay connected with your goal and have that belief. Paul touched on that some. Have that belief that you can accomplish that goal. Okay. Why did you set it in the first place? Is it aligned to your purpose? Is it aligned? Is it a calling? Or you just love it? Nothing wrong with that. You love it. It's a good goal. Believe that you can accomplish it. When you have it set up here, if you can see it with your mind's eye, as I like to say, you can hold it in your hand. You can realize that goal. Okay. So please, don't feel discouraged. It happens sometimes because you don't see it, doesn't mean progress is not being made. Okay. So our time is almost up for today.
I
I
was
would just
gonna
like to
go ahead. I was gonna say, Joan, that just to add again, I know you're gonna maybe touch on that. That
Mhm.
we want to invite everyone to our master class coming up this Saturday, March the
Mhm.
11th, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Okay, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a free event on Zoom. You can participate. You can join it from the comfort of your home, wherever you are. We're going to share these ideas, folks. We're going to share these ideas. These are mind changing ideas that are transformational, if you will. It changes lives, folks. It does change lives. And you never know where you never know where you're going to pick up from some of these from this material. But this material is so rich and so helpful and so transformational that I'll encourage everyone to find a way to join us for the masterclass coming up this Saturday, March 11th, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. The registration links is on our platforms, on our platform, all our social media platforms. Check it out and join us so we can discuss more of these ideas that are very impactful. Okay, folks, and thank you again for joining us today.
And absolutely, Paul. Thank you. I just want to mention this. Okay. You can go to our website. We have a document on our website, which is premierdestiny.com. Just make note of the spelling of our premiere. It has an E at the end. So go to premierdestiny.com and you go to our resource page. Okay. You will be able to download a document called Goal Setting and Accountability. All right. That's a start. You can start from there. You can also give us a call. You can also reach us on social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Check our YouTube page as well, where we have recordings of other Q&As that we have done in the past. But we can help you. We can help you determine if your goals are the right goals. Like the person who sent these goals, they were not sure if they have the right goals, right? We can help you determine if your goals are the right goals. And if not, give you some guidance so that you can achieve them and don't feel frustrated or stuck. Okay, folks? So again, like Paul said, we look forward to seeing you all on Saturday. It is a life-changing, transformational masterclass not to be missed by anyone. All right. So invite your friends. Again, it's free. And the registration links are on our social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, or yeah, Instagram. Make sure you register and you'll be sent the Zoom link. Okay. So until then, we'll see you and enjoy life. Life is good. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye now. Thanks for joining us. Bye bye.